Welcome to Most Fashionable Crime in Less Than 10, which is a brief rundown of my podcast, Most Fashionable Crime, which is hosted by me, Taryn. In this week's episode, we are talking about boosting. Boosting is a form of professional shoplifting, and if you Google it, a Wikipedia page for a booster bag pops up, which is basically a handmade bag, or it could be a book bag or a handbag you could buy just at any other store, but inside of it is different. The inside of it is lined with a material, usually aluminum foil, because it provides an electromagnetic shield against the security tags that would set off the sensors when people shoplifting would exit the store. Boosting has been seen a lot in social media lately, one being with The Nanny, which is a show about a woman that becomes the nanny of a rich guy's family after the mother of the children passes away. And a lot of people comment about how in real life we know that what Fran Fine, the nanny on the show, wore was designer. However, they wonder how she was able to afford those pieces while working as a nanny. Fran Fine lived rent-free in the home with the Sheffields, that was the family, and she used to work at a boutique. Some people say that her cousin actually boosted the clothes for her, but I feel like I need to rewatch this show again, but I feel like what her clothes were intended to convey was that she was really tacky and not that she was wearing designer pieces. Another video that came up a few weeks ago was this girl. She was leaving a store with like a rack full of Nike Tech joggers, and the getaway car she was supposed to be leaving in, they didn't unlock the doors for her. I don't know if it was the child lock was on or something, or if they really just meant to leave her high and dry. But the car speeds off, and then she just drops all the Nike Tech, and then she notices that there's a police officer to her left, and then she tries to run away. I will put the video here.
When shoplifters take all the Nike but forget to unlock the door.
You see?
In a 2020 survey, they found that for every $1 billion in sales, over $700,000 is stolen, which actually isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, because $1 billion is astronomical. Like, less than $1 million doesn't really compare to $1 billion. Like, it's a huge amount, but it's not crazy. But shoplifting is a billion-dollar industry. In an article that I read for the podcast, according to the FBI, South American gangs account for $10 billion worth in stolen goods per year. And apparently, according to them, in 2004, there were up to 1,000 of these groups that were in states like Maryland, California, Illinois, in other places. There are a lot of systems that retailers have in place to prevent shoplifting, but it's still a lucrative opportunity for people to do, because essentially it's easy in a sense to get away with it, and usually the penalty for it isn't that huge unless you meet that threshold for you to be charged as a felon and not have it just be a misdemeanor. A lot of retailers believe that the bulk of what is being stolen is being sold across e-commerce platforms. However, sites like Amazon and eBay have systems in place to prevent this, but they're saying that the bulk of this is being sold across e-commerce platforms, and it could be hard to detect what is stolen. But I read in an article that a lot of people who have had items stolen from their stores definitely can recognize when they see it online. I think a big factor of where these items are being sold are on social media. I definitely think social media is underestimated when it comes to being considered an e-commerce platform, which is weird to me because Facebook Marketplace is huge, and there are a lot of Facebook groups that are meant for people to buy, sell, trade, that kind of thing. The way a booster works, oftentimes you can usually tell a booster from just a regular shoplifter, which apparently there are 7 types of shoplifters, but a booster, from my experience working in retail, a booster grabs just a bunch of stuff. Doesn't matter the size, doesn't really matter what it is. They typically do go for the higher end, the more expensive items of that store. Like in the store I worked for, that was denim. In the video for the girl with the Nike Tech can run you over $200 for one sweatsuit set, basically. Boosters can sell directly to the customer, or they can use a fence. So a fence is someone that buys from the booster, but then they also resell the stolen goods. And sometimes the people that buy from boosters or fences might not know that what they're buying is actually stolen. However, in these Facebook groups, like I mentioned, people will post like, this is what I have, this is what I'm going for, let me know what size you need. And people will comment like, I need this in a size medium, I need this in a size 9 shoe. So boosting is definitely a lucrative business. You can usually, from what I've heard, I have no experience in boosting. I don't buy from boosters. I don't know any boosters. I've never boosted. And this is just how I feel about that.
I don't know nothing about that lifestyle, whatever y'all got going on, because that's not me.
But from what I've read, boosters will typically sell things at 50% less than what you can buy in the store. So because the boosters or shoplifters purchase the items for $3.99, they can get a high return on their stolen investment. To hear more about boosters, what it is, and more stories, feel free to check out my podcast linked below, and make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more.